rather cry
Cry in a
on
Kia.
a cry in a Bentley or
Or-
laugh on a bicycle.
Exactly what I was trying to say, but you got to it better. I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so that they can see that it's not the answer. And I saw that and I was like, damn. Sweet on Flex in the City. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Flex in the City. I'm Ghada.
And I'm Lisa, and this is episode 47.
48.
48!
48.
47 actually
folks.
just went up, yeah.
48.
48. Yay!
So,
50.
yeah.
I feel like I look like a golf course today. I just realized that
Why?
now. Because
You got to put yourself down.
it's not, that's not a bad thing. Like, I just mean the color of the dress.
A golf course wouldn't be lime green. It would be
It's like,
just green.
this isn't like lime either. It's like, but even you see how it's like textured? It's giving very like
grass vibe.
grassy. Yeah, it's giving mossy. I don't know. And I haven't worn this dress since I was in Dubai because Dubai is the only place where I could wear this color and not be looked at like I'm crazy. So I actually haven't worn it in a couple of years. And I was looking for a different dress and I saw it and I was like,
I
I
think
mean,
she looks
throw a little
good.
color on there.
This is my co-host, Lisa. And she looks good. Stop.
She also. Now on to today's topic.
Jump right in.
Jump right in.
Today we want to answer or address the age-old statement that we've always heard, which is money doesn't buy happiness.
Yes.
And this is coming from two women who are juggling careers, households, families. Do we really feel like that statement actually sticks, or is there another way to look at it? And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, would you rather be maybe happy in a
How do we say it?
tiny Kia, whatever car, cry in a Kia,
Cry in a Bentley or laugh on a bicycle?
That's exactly what I was trying to say, but you got to it better.
Oh,
Which would you prefer?
I think, I mean, both are really extreme. So
Right.
I would say probably neither in reality now. But I think you said something significant about where we are in our lives now. Like as moms, we've had careers, we've had businesses that we're building that are our own, we have dependents and all of that. How we look at answering that question now compared to how we would answer it
In
like
our
20
20s.
years ago, I
Mhm.
think is also really different because your priorities shift and your idea of financial stability also shifts,
Yeah.
I think. Um,
I think
So-
along the way also, like, what we define as happiness also might
Yes.
be shifting
yes,
as well.
and hopefully it shifts, in a more sort of progressive, forward-moving way.
Ye-
Certainly, if you ask me that question, like at 25, I'd be like, look, I'm trying to get this money. I'm trying to live it up. I'm trying to travel first class everywhere. I'm trying to take care of my folks, make sure they're traveling first class everywhere, and all of that. And that was kind of the focus, especially because I had no bills and no, if I had bills. Let's say 20. I had no bills or my bills were being covered by my
Yeah.
my parents.
Yeah.
So I was still a dependent to some extent. And I hadn't really worked, in a full-time job yet. So I didn't know the real cost of, financial independence. So that's changed. But also I've also had a period where I have worked and I have made good money and I have sort of like some of the things I dreamt of in my 20s, I've maybe
Yeah.
experienced through that. And
Like you can see that, like you can actually see that progression.
yeah, if
from
you look at it
starting
like a
out in your
picture.
career to like hotshot corporate lawyer, like,
Yeah. To like
nah.
stay-at-home mom.
That is the unpaid work we've talked about that
Yes.
is not recognized and we should be getting paid for.
Be the
But
highest income earners. Having sort of fulfilled some of those things that would have been like dreams or like the idea of making it when I was 20, having like lived that and having access to some of those things that like, buy happiness, I would say it is for me now, it is a balance. And so your happiness, whatever you define that to be, but if we're looking at it more of like from a materialistic point of view, how happy money or financial stability makes you is directly in correlation to how much value you place on what you can acquire fiscally, like through money. So, for example, if you're for some people, like having a vintage Birkin is the most valuable thing in the world. And so when they finally get the chance to acquire that, they are happy. They're like, this is the epitome, and I've placed so much importance and value on this thing. And, to them, that might be as genuinely happy as they can be. So I think it depends. I certainly believe that there is a real thing and it should be studied. Retail therapy is definitely a thing. And whether it is, what is it? The happy drug that you have, the happy hormone, a serotonin
Serotonin.
or a endorphin boost that you get from it or whatever it is, I do believe that that's kind of a real thing because it is. Just because it is.
Speaking from
Because
experience.
it is. There's just some things that you're just and different things can be therapeutic, a really nice meal or a beautiful bottle of wine for some people, or,
Yeah.
so again, whatever value you relate or correlate to it. And then, your brain gets trained to say, this is happy, release happy drug. For me, I think money is not happiness or is not sort of you can't buy happiness, but I certainly think financial stability is for a lot of people, certainly for myself quite important for happiness. And I think that is whether you're a single person, whether you're a single mom, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're in a two income home, single income home, marriage, all of those things, I think minimize the chance of conflict or discord or unhappiness. And financial stability is different things to different people. So, whatever makes you feel secure in being able to provide for yourself and the people you love, I think that is, yeah, happiness.
So I also think that we
Mm.
need to figure out, because there's a difference between comfort, so financial
Mhm,
stability,
mhm.
and happiness. Some might say, "Oh, I'm happy when I'm financially stable."
And some people
And
might
some
say,
people might
"We're
say,
not there yet, but we're still happy."
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you can say that financial stability is something that's like short-lived. So like that feeling like, whoops,
Hopefully not.
you pay your bill, like in that moment, you're like, oh, it's like a sigh of relief, right? Whereas
Mhm.
happiness is meant to be something that is kind of like
Consistent regardless.
consistent or lasts a little longer. But I did come across a term.
Mhm. I love when you start a sentence like that.
I
It's
did
my
come,
favorite
come
because, it's always something that I'm like, "Wow, I've never heard this before." It's
maybe you
so
have heard it.
fascinating.
There's a concept called the hedonic treadmill. Have you heard of that?
No, but
Okay.
I can.
So I'm going to try to explain it to
Okay,
you.
okay.
I'm going
And
to try
all
to
of you.
spit some knowledge at y'all. Okay. Let's see how this works. If not, I've got my handy dandy phone to bust out to be like, okay, let's not
Uh,
hurt my brain. Like,
yeah, yeah, let's just read it.
so imagine you're on a treadmill,
Yeah.
you're walking, then you're running,
Mhm.
but no matter how fast you go, you're still running in place. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So now replace the running with happiness. So this idea is that, say, for example, you get a promotion, you have all that money coming in,
Mhm.
feeling good. Your standard of living is probably going to go up because you're like, now, oh, I have this money.
I can do more
I
with it.
can do more with it.
Yeah, yeah.
2 months later, you're going, oh shit,
I overextended.
I overextended, or I need to stay at this level or even get more. So you're back on that treadmill now, wanting more
The next.
and always like waiting for that next high. So it's like me, like I'm always eyeing. I don't I don't buy brand name
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
but I'm always eyeing an Yves Saint Laurent bag.
Really?
Like that's like and there's a specific one I have in my mind,
Which one?
It's like I don't know the name of it, but it's like
Oh,
a square. I think you even have one. It's a square
the
one with
envelope flap bag,
the
the chain
the
link,
chain link.
and then the front goes like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, the envelope
but
bag.
it's like
Yeah,
you buy that bag, and then in comes some heifer who's got like the new the
the
new
newer one.
one,
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
oh shit.
Or you're like, "Oh, has it in
Yeah.
envelope black."
So back to the treadmill because it's always like your happiness lasts for that moment. And then once your environment like stabilizes, you go back to the happiness point that you were at before that.
Right.
and then always seeking
You need
something
the next
better
fix.
and you need that next fix.
Mhm.
So that to me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, so it's almost like maybe happiness never really like it's
I can
it's
tell you
constantly it's not stable. It's
it's not. It's
constantly
it's
changing.
erratic and it's inconsistent. Certainly it's not
In regards to money, when we're talking
sustainable,
money,
right,
yeah.
and certainly in regards to monetary or sorry, material things, certainly. Although that bag.
That
Um,
I'm not I'm
the
telling you, like,
happiness is it's
I have, like, convinced myself I'm not a brand person, but it's like, no, like, when I
really about the brand. Like there's some brands that will, like I said, the value you attach to it. So if you know about like craftsmanship or you respect what the brand stands for, it doesn't have to be like a luxury brand.
yeah,
There's some things that you're like, I really believe in what these guys are trying to do, or I really think it's so beautiful, like the artwork and the thought process and the effort that goes into this in a, moral and sustainable way. And, that's something that I would love to have, as a part of my,
yeah,
collection or whatever. Then yeah, it's valuable to you, and then
yeah.
that you attach that value to it. So I think yeah, it doesn't have to be luxury brands. I think the most like valuable pair of jeans I had were one of the cheapest jeans that I ever bought, to the point where I couldn't even remember where I got them from to be able to buy. I was so upset because I was like, these fit perfectly. I've had
Yeah,
them for years. They've lasted so long, but I cannot for the life of me remember where I got them to acquire more pairs. And I believe I recall them being like, something like $8 or $9.
oh, damn.
Yeah, and I just got them because I was like, "Oh, I need a pair of jeans real quick," da, 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 and I was like, "Oh, they're perfect," and I never found them again. So, but to me, they were priceless.
Yeah,
So I understand that. I'm taking Saint Laurent products out of the conversation because I attach a value to that for other reasons. But seriously speaking, I think you make a really good point when you say that there's this like constant need for a fix. So, really, genuine happiness is something that is sustainable, regardless of the change in your circumstances, environment, any of those things. And I think that's what is hard to accept. But at the same time, I think it's okay to say, even if I'm feeling a bit unhappy, yes, I know that I can't get full, genuine value of happiness from this, but it's okay for me to get that blip
fix.
from, yeah,
Yeah,
that little fix from something that makes me feel nice, like taking myself out to a nice lunch or, catching up with friends, having a nice chat, like things, and, and that's okay. It's okay to reach out for things that give you a little bit of a boost along the way while still pursuing that, happiness that has more longevity,
I
I think
agree.
I think. But, this is where, like, addiction also comes into it because, like, people always chasing that same
That
high.
high.
That's another thing is you're never going to get the same high the same way.
No.
So, the only experience I have with highs is shopping. So I'm gonna use that as an example.
Okay.
Actually, even, like, but that's different. I was gonna say the high you get from, like, training as well, but that's actually one that gives you a little bit more longevity, even though it's endorphins. The results are always something that kinda give you a reason to go back, and ultimately, that's something that can lead to longevity and long-lived happiness.
Yeah,
So fitness
that
and
might be a
is a
bit
bit different.
different because of the
Yeah.
longevity
Yeah,
element,
because it does
whereas
actually, whereas something like,
a nice dinner or going on vacation is always gonna be, like, in that moment,
yeah,
and then it
exactly.
and then it fades.
And then it's usually like a
Yeah.
because
It's
you
a
come back from
crash. You're
vacation
like,
and you're like,
"I need a vacation from my
from
vacation."
the
Oh,
yeah, yeah, from the return of my
yeah,
vacation, or you have to
seriously.
plan the next
Yeah,
one. When you get back from vacation, that's what I realized. I'm like, I need to plan the next one already to just put my brain in a state of mind where there's something to look forward to that makes, like, the time in between more palatable, and
mhm.
that's the point that we're making is that time in between is not surviving, it should still be thriving, you should
Yeah,
still be happy, and then these are just little sort of spikes, of sweetness, insulin spikes, if you will.
and I
Um,
think we as humans tend to forget that because we just wait until we get to that moment.
and I think that's where that treadmill you're talking
Yeah,
about,
so it's
yeah.
almost like if you can figure out a way to be kind of stabilizing that feeling or just staying in that moment a little longer or appreciating things a little more, then
Yeah.
you don't have to constantly be waiting for that
To
next
recover
to
from not
recover it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
I
it's
think
like
that's important.
then it just makes those moments, like those vacations, those, that new car, that new job, that whatever, it just
Like a little bonus, but
yeah,
you're already
exactly. But you're already
on a
already on a
consistent
high,
already on a consistent slow
consistent,
release.
yes, low release
Slow
high.
release high.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that a lot. I think financial stability, I would separate that from the financial capability to live a life of excess or luxury. So I think again, that's something that is different for everybody. But stability, whatever that means for people, I think is because it can be such a source of unhappiness. I think this if it's not there, stability and a lack of stability in a lot of ways. Instability like with like safety of your home, instability with, your friendships or your relationship or your health or, all of these things can be such sources of unhappiness that I believe even financial stability can ultimately be a source of happiness in terms of the stability aspect, not necessarily the finance and the money aspect, but the fact that you have this one concern taken off your plate.
It's a relief.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think from relief you can say that there's a level of happiness that comes in
yeah,
possibly.
yeah, especially if you've been at a place where you didn't have it.
Yeah.
So you gave the example of like, when you pay a bill and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
that's done till next week or
Yeah.
next month.
Yeah.
Um, that feeling of like, oh, the bills have come around again, living like that, and then getting to a point where you can be like paying these bills and you don't feel it. Like, I think there is some maybe not happiness, but a sense of peacefulness that comes with being in a place where you're like, I don't have to worry that any of the things that I need on a daily basis are going to be threatened or affected in any way. There's something that comes from that that can lead to peace of mind that then influences happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
I think.
think that's what we said in the beginning also, is that it's really also how you define happiness. So for me, like as someone that have lived paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah,
but there is that sense of, as long as everything is covered for, like I don't care about anything else.
yeah,
And that for me is what makes me, it's that comfort of knowing food is on the table, bills are paid for,
yeah. Kids are
good
good.
kids are
Like,
good,
yeah,
kids are healthy, like I am good. I
yeah,
don't need anything else. And I've always said,
yeah,
like, I don't need millions, I just need comfort and stability.
yeah, yeah.
And for me, that in my head equates to happiness.
Yes, yes, I agree. I would say 100%
Yeah.
exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is it's
Like, I don't even have anything to add to that.
but it's like it's all subjective, I think.
Yes, even that
Yeah.
I didn't even want to add to because you made that point. It is subjective, so everyone's level of what that comfort and that stability means is obviously going to vary, but the fact that everyone wants to feel that I don't want to be concerned about
Yeah.
my welfare, my kids' welfare, my any other dependents I might have, like, I want to be able to and some people, of course, that is maybe unrealistic at an unrealistic level or, it is very subjective, but I think, yeah, it is something I think a lot of people need in order to feel a sense of peace of mind, at least where finances are concerned.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, do you know anybody who has like all the money in the world but
not
still
all of it, but
miserable?
yeah, I know people who are exceptionally wealthy, and in fact, a lot of wealthy people are unhappy. I mean, you
Yeah.
hear about people who like actors and famous people who are like in are severely depressed. You hear about people like, suffering from or even like, ending their existences.
That reminds me.
And from the outside, it looks like they have everything. People say, "Oh, they had it all."
Yes.
Well, what does it all really mean? Like, what is it all? Because all we know about that person is that they had money and maybe they had, you know, they were beautiful or they were attractive. That's all we see. And so, is that all of it?
There's a quote I came across by Jim Carrey. And we know that Jim Carrey's always been like, I think
He suffers
he suffers
from,
from
I think,
depression or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And so he says, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so that they can see that it's not the answer. And I saw that and I was like, damn, that's like, that
so
hits you
good.
right here. And that's coming from a celebrity who's probably like swimming in it. Like if
Yeah,
he wanted like Dr. What's that? The duck who
Oh,
swims in his
Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge. Like he could probably be swimming in it. That kind
And Uncle Scrooge is a great example.
of, he's so grumpy.
He's grumpy all the time. And he's so worried about losing his money that he can't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I know personally, I know tons of people who have, like, they can go out, they can do whatever they want, they can
Yeah.
travel, they can, you know, they never have to worry
Never
about,
have to worry.
but
Even their
they,
kids and their grandkids will
yeah, but
never.
they still have issues. They still have, so it's so,
And when you look at the issues, especially with some of those people you know more personally and you know about their what's going on in their lives, a lot of the issues have to do with things that affect their day-to-day happiness. So even if they have all of this like financial security and all of these things that look so enviable from the outside, like the happiness is an inside job, basically.
mm,
And so like
woo,
we don't know. I heard that
slang.
somewhere. I'm not going to take credit for
Ding,
it.
ding,
I heard
ding.
that somewhere, but it really is.
We snap.
And I think that, yeah, we don't know what's happening on their inside of their body or even inside their house, you know, and it's it's so relative. So I think working on what we said before, that happiness being the constant and everything else can be your blip to make it a little bonus and a
Yeah.
little like that's a little like spice on the top. But at the end of the day, you have this slow release high because of genuine, true happiness that comes from everything else within. What do you think is comprises that happiness from within? So we've talked about financial stability, but really, if that's all sorted, and now we're looking at what is happening within me to make my happiness legitimate and consistent, what would you say would go on that list?
I would say connection.
Hmm.
I've even come across like research states that people who are well connected to other people, who
Hmm.
have people they care about, who they love, genuinely
Yeah.
love, people they can depend on, that equates to more happiness than anything ever could.
Wow. That is so not what I
So
expected.
that's for me. I think that for me is so important.
I wouldn't have thought of it, but when you say it, it makes sense
Yeah.
because when you have connection or when you connect with people that are your vibe or you have a great conversation with someone, like, yeah, you
Yeah.
feel this unexplainable.
You really can't relate to
Unexplainable?
it. I think we're
Is that a
social
word?
creatures to
Mhm.
begin with.
Yeah, yeah,
As women, I think we thrive on that.
deeply.
So I know that when I'm struggling in a friendship or whatever, like that, like really takes a toll on me. Like it doesn't matter what's happening around me, but if that really affects my, ability to find like a sisterhood or anything like that, like it really, that hinders my happiness.
And you know what's oh, did your phone just bark?
My phone is that was my phone saying
You know what's
what, but it was
it's weird because I had just opened my mouth as the sound came out, so I just wanna make it clear to everybody that sound did not come from me. It came from the
no, no, it was from my phone. My phone loves to talk to us during our session.
oh,
So,
yeah, yeah, the AI is always hard at work.
ooh,
Um, but what I was gonna say is, speaking about that community and that closeness, and we spoke about how I had that course on the weekend,
hmm
and so I had this Pilates course that I'm doing, and I had the final day, and we had to present and sort of teach each other. It's rather big group of people, so it can be quite daunting. And there was just obviously some girls who were so I think everyone was nervous, but some who were just like cripplingly, cripplingly nervous.
yeah,
And just like to the point of like breaking down in tears and just getting really emotional, shaking, panic attacks, and there was a moment where we finished everything, and even, like, one of the girls who was so afraid, like, everyone sort of just banded together and really encouraged this girl, especially who was having such nerves, and what's weird is even now when you were, like, community or closeness, like, I can recognize that that's so important, but because I had to for a long time when I was here and I didn't have that, I had to make that such a subordinate need because I was like, "I'm not gonna get it filled, so I
yeah.
need to
You
stop."
said like if you guys recall in the beginning of our podcast, like she would always say, "I don't like people. I don't
I
need
still
them."
don't, but
I mean, but like you really weren't looking like in the beginning. You were like, "I'm okay if I don't make any
'cause,
friends.
yeah, I
I
don't
don't
need
need
new
it. I
friends.
don't need new
Yeah,
friends."
the people that I have in my life,
Yeah,
that was and still so important to me. But I really didn't anticipate that, when you're far away from people, there's still a need for you to have connection with
Yes.
people
To
on a daily
belong
basis,
to
to
a
belong, to
community or
to
yeah.
have people who just like check in on you beyond just, like your immediate family and things like that. So, and especially when it's a hard environment to be in. So, because I didn't have that, I was like, well, the only way to like not feel the need is to ignore it and to
Yeah.
pretend I don't. And so I think I put myself in a state of mind where I was like, that's subordinate. It's something that's back burner, to the point where you forget how good it feels to have it. And so in the pockets of moment, even with you, I've told you, like when we have a really good conversation, when I have a really good conversation with someone, I'm just like, oh my God, it was
You're
so good. It's
high.
almost
Yeah.
like, and I'm almost like surprised because it's like novel
Yeah.
to me nowadays. And then being in that environment with a group of girls that we don't know each other well, we met through this course. We've, seen each other only on a few occasions. We're just going through this course together. To have everyone we're all so different, band together and support this one girl at the same time, like it wasn't planned and everyone was just like, we know how difficult it is. We've all like stood here and done this. And to just encourage her, and I'm even getting emotional telling the story. It was the energy I can't even like describe.
Mm-mm.
And
You literally had to be there.
it was magical. It was
Yeah.
such a moment where I was like, this is like
What it's
what
about.
women actually create.
Yeah.
Like, this is when they say we are like the heartbeat and like the center of the household and the center of the
Yes.
community and, the nucleus of the tribe. And like, we set the tone for how the house, like, this is where it comes from. It's because we have this innate ability to just create this warmth and this nurture and this hug for each other, but also
Yeah.
for other people. And no one has to like get a memo,
No.
it just
No,
happens.
we just kinda get it. Like
It was
yeah.
unbelievable. And I was just like, oh my God. I didn't cry.
Oh,
But
warm and
yeah,
fuzzy inside.
it was really beautiful. And I think everyone, like, no one even said anything about it, but we were all like,
Yeah.
we here.
Yeah, yeah.
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 And yeah, it was beautiful. And so to experience that again and to remember this is what it's meant to feel like. Imagine a community like this, nurturing, safe, encouraging, strong every single day. Like, what can you accomplish? What kind of strength and self belief can you actually rise to when you know you have this kind of an environment around
Yeah.
you? So
I
I think
I think
it's
you're
amazing.
unstoppable in those moments.
Absolutely,
In that
absolutely.
kind of setup, like, you literally would be unstoppable. There's nothing that would kind of get in your way. Like, you
Yeah.
even yourself wouldn't be able to get in your way because sometimes, we can be our toughest critics, but when you
Oh,
have a support system like that, like, they're gonna build you up.
funny that you say that too, because it even happened when we were sitting down because we were all like, "Oh, let's get everybody's, like, information. Let's exchange Instagrams and everything." And, of course, we're all there all day in, like, sports bras and leggings, and we've all seen each other, like, inverted and all of that, and you're like, "Oh, I love your arms. Oh, I love this. Oh, I wish" blah, blah, like, all of these, like, statements that you make because you're like, you're beautiful and da da da. Almost all of the time that a statement like that is made, you hear someone come back with, "Oh, but I" it even just
Yeah.
happened just
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I remember I was sitting next to this one girl and we exchanged Instagrams and I was like, "Oh my God, like your page is so pretty and it's like your photos are gorgeous and da da da." And she's like, "Oh no, 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 but you're gorgeous and da 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 and like and your abs." And I'm like, "No, my like body's not what it used to be because it's destroyed by pregnancy and it's not the same." And she was like, "What are you talking about?" Like it's and she said, "You're always going to be harshest on yourself." And, like, it's something that we hear all the time, but, like, it hit me in that moment, and I'm like, "Yeah, like, why? Why?
Yeah.
Why do we do that?" That someone who has absolutely nothing to gain from telling you something about yourself, we choose not to believe it. And instead, we believe, like, this negative
Narrative.
self-talk, and it's crazy because you will look back at old photos of yourself and remember how you felt when you took that photo. And there's photos that I have where I took them as, like, this will be my before, that I've looked back at and I'm like, "Hey, this is the after I'm trying to
Yeah.
work for," you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I remember how I felt in that moment, and I'm like, "Why didn't I enjoy it? Why didn't I think?" And so even, like, at the end of every class, I always say, like, thank yourself for doing something good for your body today, but thank your body for doing something good for you every
Oh,
day.
is that how you end every class?
Yeah,
Oh,
like with your hand on your heart and on your belly and just, yeah,
I
like
love it.
I
I
know,
love it.
because like even when you're not thinking about it, and really when at the end of the class, because people's heart rate is high. So when you have your hand on your chest, you're feeling that heart beating. And I remind them it does that without you asking it to do it. So there's so much that your body does for you that's great without you ever saying thank you or asking. In fact, usually we make it harder for
Yeah.
our body to do what it needs to do. But it still like comes back to us with goodness. And so being able to have gratitude for that, I think is a really good step in trying to find happiness, regardless of how your body also is going to change. Because it's always going to be different. And
Mhm.
then you're going to be like, oh, I should have appreciated it when I was 43. Oh, I should have appreciated it when I was 50. Oh, I should have appreciated it before my knees gave out and now I can't like get up by myself, you know? There's
And
always going to be something.
I mean, I think that always goes back to our environment, to our like childhood, to our upbringing that something's always going to get in the way
Mm,
for
mm.
us to kind of diminish those little things. Like we
Yeah,
start to believe, like, you grow up, you get maybe praised for getting good grades at school, or you go to get your first job and you get that first paycheck and money, 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 money becomes all about money,
success. Yep.
success, and you really start to forget that these little things, gratitude is, I
Even
think,
health,
a
I think when we
driving,
were growing up
yeah.
was not like a
It wasn't
core
a it wasn't a
goal.
theme. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a
Like, and this is one thing I like because they always make fun of like Gen Zers, is it? And how like they're so different from us because we are like, I'm burnt out, but I gotta keep going to work.
yeah.
I don't feel like it, but I'm gonna go. My mental health is not the business today, but I still gotta go. Zers will be like, this isn't really my vibe today. So I might see you next week. I'm gonna take a personal day.
I'm gonna take a personal day.
Although, did you see? I think it's Spain is the first country to legalize time off for when you're menstruating. Yeah,
Where has
yeah,
this been
I
all our
know,
lives?
I know, I know. Although,
Y'all have no idea.
although because
Y'all have no
I'm hoping that they're
idea.
not going to verify, but I assume there's no way for them to verify. And so I know a lot of us are just going to be like, yeah, my period lasts 3 weeks. See you.
It's always got to be someone that ruins it for the rest of us, man. Like, well,
I'm
it does
hoping.
suck for someone like I have a period for like 7 days. Some others have
Yep.
it for 3 days. So it's
Yeah,
like,
if you're being honest with it, then
yeah,
yeah, like, yeah, don't like
don't abuse the
spoil it for
system. Don't spoil
everybody.
it
Yeah,
for
because us 7 day girls, honestly, a day
we
off would have been life changing.
beautiful.
Life, just one, I wouldn't have even taken the full 7. Day one
Forget
or the day before, the day before
you want to
plus day
kill
one.
everybody.
Because also, you literally feel like I can't move around because literally you're like,
Yeah,
it's like when my younger son, my toddler, poops in his diaper and he's like, I need my diaper changed. He literally walks because he doesn't want it to make contact with him.
oh my
We're
god.
working on it. But anyway, like
Yeah,
this is how you feel as a
yeah,
grown up. And then
yeah.
they're like, come to work. We have sports day, team building exercise, climb this rope. Like, and you can't say anything. What I mean? You're just like, "Oh." And then God forbid you're the one person who's like, no, I can't today. And they're like, where's your team spirit?
Exactly.
Where's your good attitude? Or you're a leader. You're setting the tone for everybody. And you're like, my insides are literally in like sailor knots today. And you can't say anything about it. So I think this is a great development. And I do commend Gen Zers on some level in being like, it's not for me. And
Then
that's
you get a
something
lot
that
of
goes.
snowflakes
That's
too,
why I
which
said
I'm
on some level, within reason.
sorry.
Some people who are like, you know what, this is not going to align with what I know
Yeah.
is beneficial to my mental health. So I'm not gonna we even saying it, I'm just like, how could I ever? I can't even imagine saying that to a, you know, we're the generation of, puking in the garbage can under our work desk.
Getting rid exactly. Yeah. I mean, I even tell my kids, like, when we were growing up, if we had a stomach bug, we'd go to school,
Walk it off.
vomit in the
Yeah.
in the bathroom, and then
You're
continue
not
to
gonna die.
you're not
Yeah.
gonna die, and that
Yeah.
was it. Like, I would have to literally, like, be bleeding from my
Literally,
eyes
yeah.
to
Or
stay
like suffering an
home.
injury that's like
Yeah,
debilitating
something.
because it's like
We
throwing up
literally just
doesn't make you stop hearing. You
no.
can still listen to lecture.
Exactly, exactly. It's like, walk it off. Walk it off.
Walk it off.
That was my PE
If
teacher.
I
If I
had
had
$1 for
cramps,
every time.
PE teacher would be like, "Just walk it off." I'm like, "Okay, fine." Now we know that walking is,
Walking is actually
but
beneficial
like,
for
in
us.
that moment, you're like,
But
"Fuck
sometimes
you."
the cramps hit you
Baby
like it's
cramp.
like, and you're just like, I
Yeah,
actually can't walk. Woo. But
man.
yeah, so like there's things and I guess we've progressed and come back in some levels, like as
Right.
a society. But I really think that yeah, that consistency of finding what makes you happy, even financially, like what is stability to you? Because your finances are going to fluctuate.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and there's even people who are like millionaires that have gone bankrupt.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to become depressed when that happens. How do you maintain a sense of happiness and value that's not connected to your circumstances? And this is, I guess I posed that question to you, and I posed it because I don't have a clear
Mhm.
answer, even for myself. Like I know, well, you said
I'd say
closeness and
connection,
connection
and I'd
and
also add health in there.
that would for me health because you don't realize how much everything doesn't matter until your health you lose your health
Yeah.
everything else that you're like oh well this is important, this is important, all of that shit is inconsequential the moment that your health is gone.
Mhm.
Like ask any man when he has the flu, it's the end of his world.
The man
Man flu.
flu. Sorry. Do I We love you.
Yeah, we do. But you know what's funny too is I know it's happened to you too.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of women here, if you're married to men or living with men, and you've been sick with the same flu at the same time, and they are completely debilitated
They're,
by
like,
it.
comatose, and you're, like, in the kitchen, like,
Making them tea
making them tea, cooking
as
lunch.
you're like suffering the same shit. Like,
That's I saw a woman on the subway do that today. She was literally side
no,
note, she was literally and then, like, did one of these, and then wiped it on the handrail, and I was like, "That is why
I
I
don't
never touch
touch
those
anything
things."
on the train. We need to do another train chronicles
Yes, we do, because
anymore.
it's just nasty, but
But, oh my
anyway,
god,
we
on the
digress.
handrail?
On
Why
the
don't
han
you wipe it on something that
Yeah.
people actually
Like,
hold?
at least, like, if you're gonna see, you're already obvious about wiping, just put it on your
On your
on your clothes,
and
on
then
your
you're going
jacket,
home, yeah. Put your own bodily fluids on
on
your own
on
self.
yourself,
Yeah, like,
honestly.
ugh. Or
Anyway.
keep them inside. Better yet. But, yeah, like, it's funny that, yeah, when you lose your health, nothing else and even
Nothing
something like
else
a
matters.
cold, you're just like, "Wow,
And I think
really."
that's the sad part is that usually it takes something tragic or something, like, really negative to happen for us to be like, "Oh,
Perspective,
yeah,
recalibrated.
yeah,
Yeah. I think health is something that luckily, a lot of people might have consistently. And so it's easy to take for granted.
yeah."
And you find that with a lot of people who've maybe survived something terminal or really serious, their outlook often does change. Or maybe if they've suffered like something almost life threatening, they're like, well, okay, like don't sweat the small stuff. Um, yeah. So I think, yeah, health is definitely a central one. I think,
I have something for you,
oh,
a little golden nugget. It's called the happiness plateau.
oh.
So research shows that after a certain level of income,
Mhm.
happiness depends more on, and this is kind of what we touched upon, relationships, health, and autonomy.
This is I was literally answering the question when I said, "What is it to me?" And I was going to say autonomy.
Yeah. It's not about more zeros,
And we
it's
definitely
about
didn't talk about this before,
yeah.
guys.
It's not a
Unscripted.
it's not about more zeros, it's about more time, more freedom, more energy. Like that, when you hear that,
Spot on.
yeah.
Like, nailed it.
Because really, like, what happens when you have people, and I think that's probably why we know so many people that have lots of money but are still miserable. It's like,
Mhm.
what happens when you have all that money but you lack meaning?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't there's
There's
nothing you
nothing
can
you can.
connect. Yeah, and you can go on all these trips and go on all these things and do on all, but like where's the substance?
Yeah.
And even if you have it, like I think people are different, but I think there's even a part of you that's like, for example, if you inherited it, there's still a part of you that's like, all right, well, I don't have to work to gain my sense of like autonomy, but you still have to do something, I
Yeah.
believe, that gives you, and for some women or men, that might be, I just want to be a parent, or I just want to be like, a homemaker, which is
Mhm.
fine. That's where they attach their true sense of autonomy and this is purpose. But having that purpose and actually living it, I think is where you fulfill that happiness, that
Yeah.
that autonomy requirement. I
Yeah.
think that's where you find it. Um, Someone said, if you wouldn't do your job if you weren't paid for it, then it's just your job. You haven't found your passion yet.
That's why they say love what you do.
Yeah, but we're not gonna say what that girl said. You didn't see that post? It was viral like a couple months ago where she was on a podcast. I think it was even in Dubai, and she was like, something that I heard that was so great was, my friend said, "Don't love your job your love." And like the guy who was listening was like, "Wow, I love that."
No,
Internet.
I'm still trying to understand what the hell that means.
Like,
Did that get turned into a meme and all that?
completely. There is one
Job
guy
your
who did
love.
like I get what she's trying to say.
Don't love your job. Job your love.
Yeah. I I
Explain.
think
Break it down
I
for me.
get.
Break it
I
down.
didn't go to listen to the podcast
How
because
did
I was
you
like,
interpret it?
I interpret it as, because I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, despite me laughing at all of the memes. But I think she meant was the like chicken egg situation. So you have a job, you're doing it, it's what you do for work, it's your source of income. And I happen to really like what I do. I like who I work with. The work is interesting. That I love my job, but it exists as a job. Whereas
Job
jobbing
your
your
love.
love, I think, is what she tried to say is like, you have your passion, you know what you love. Now go create it. Go find a way to make what it is that you are already passionate about exist in the world. I hope that's what she meant. I'll try
I
it.
can get behind that. If
I'm
that's what
reaching. Girl.
she's gonna be like, actually, that's not what I meant.
I'm
I
like,
was just trying to
take
rhyme.
it. No, after everything that has happened to her, I'm sure she's like, I'm not talking about this.
But did
I'm
it
done.
go off like in a good way?
The guy also was made fun of because he was like,
I love
I
that.
love that. And you could see in his eyes, he was like,
I didn't get it. How
he's
do I
like,
transition from this shit?
just keep it. Yeah. And yeah, the internet was like,
Man, the
we're going to
internet.
roast you, but
The
it was
internet
hilarious.
is
It was really.
unforgiving.
And so, like under, like, I think under one of the first posts, like all the comments were like, don't, what was it? It was like, don't eat your lunch. Lunch your eat. Like people were doing it for everything. Like, don't book your read. Don't read your book. Book your read. It was, oh my God. I was like, undefeated. The internet
Don't
is
love
undefeated.
yourself, your love.
Self your love.
I don't know.
It was everything.
I don't know, some bullshit like that.
It was so many different ones. And then
Oh.
people actually did like spin-off videos that were hilarious. So I'm hoping that's what she meant. And that's just me trying to like,
In that regard, I
but-
can see that.
yeah, if that's what she meant.
But
But she was trying to be like catchy with it. And I'm like, it doesn't,
nah,
it
it didn't work. It didn't
didn't
land the way that
land.
she was trying to.
landed.
So
Crash landed.
don't love your job.
Job your
love.
But the worst part also was the delivery. She said it like it was so profound.
You know she thought about it and she'd written
sure.
it down.
I'm sure because she's
She
like,
was
oh, I heard it
in
from
the
my friend. I'm
shower
like,
or
who's
something.
friend?
Like,
There was no friend, girl.
Nah.
The friend is you.
You.
And then there was this kind of brief silence where the other guy was like, and the producer was like,
crickets.
and he was like, I
Oh,
love
man.
that. And she was like, right? No, not right. No, no. Delivery was wrong.
Yeah.
Packaging was awful. But if that's the message, I get it.
Speaking of the internet and social media, do you feel like that has played a role in?
Yes.
I'm still trying to form the question.
Because yes, in everything.
and everything,
Oh
right?
my
Like, we
god.
attach almost, like, our self-worth now to what we
So
see
much.
on social
And
media.
even our
Everyone
idea
has
of
this, I want
happiness.
this, and I want that, and
Even our idea of happiness is influenced by that as well,
mhm,
because there's things I wouldn't even know exist if I hadn't seen it,
right,
like, you know,
on
online.
Instagram or
Yeah, or
whatever.
like whether it's like an item, whether it's a body type, whether it's, you know, an like a style of dressing, like, "Oh, I like her vibe. I wanna try and, like,
Yeah,
kind of recreate." Like, I wouldn't know half of these things or, and so I think a lot of what, yeah, this is why influencing is exactly that. It influences how we think, what we crave, what we buy. But yeah,
which
creeps
makes
into
it so
everything
much
now.
harder to really
Find what is
find
authentically
what is authentically
much harder.
has like what it has meaning to you, what really what you define or attach happiness to. Like, it's impossible, I feel like, these days.
Which is why I think Gen Z are so much better prepared because they're like so aware much more than we were on like that is not giving me the vibes I need. That is not
Mhm.
giving me in a lot of ways. I think they are better what better ugh,
I think they're better at communicating it, but I don't think they're
in
but I
practicing
don't
it.
think
No, sorry.
they're
Not as a
feeling it the
whole.
way that you would think that they should be
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
it.
perhaps not.
Because there are studies showing that Gen Zers aren't like they're not the
They're
happiest
not. Yeah, yeah,
generation.
yeah. They're not. I don't believe we are either. So I think if you actually took the same research, conducted the same research on us at the age that they are now, it's just that no one was maybe collecting the data in the same way. Like we didn't even have the awareness to know if we were unhappy. Do you know what I mean? We didn't have
Mhm.
a lot of the tools that tell us this is, your body expressing stress. This is your
Yeah,
body expressing
yeah.
like, depression. This is your body
We didn't
expressing
have that knowledge, no.
yeah, we energy is not even like something we even
Mm-mm.
considered, unless it was glucose.
If you go on Instagram and your algo, like, will show you all of that in, like, 3 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, they're definitely growing up in a lot harder of a time, but if you put the internet as it is now back into when we were their age, we would be like worse off. Like
Worse
I
off.
think we wouldn't be able to survive it as much as they have. I would say, I would wager to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could agree with that
Yeah, on some levels,
on
but
some
I
levels.
mean, making a generalization, but I think, yeah, they do have a little bit more of a self-awareness, and they have an environment everywhere
Allows
that's
them
generally, yes, nurturing towards them developing this self-awareness, whereas
right.
for us, it was like, "Self-awareness? What
Yeah,
is that, like, woo-woo stuff, huh?
exactly.
Like, stop." Like
That would have been so frowned upon.
yeah, or it would be considered, like, self-indulgent,
Yeah,
really. Even therapy was considered self-indulgent.
that's
I know
true.
I thought it was self-indulgent.
That's
I'm like,
true.
"So you gonna pay for someone
To tell you
to
what's
just
wrong with
listen
you.
to you? Like, what's wrong with you? You don't have people in your life? Or just get over it. Like, team walk it off." You
Walk
know?
it off.
Like
Walk it off.
yeah. So I don't like we had to, like, grow into understanding the importance of that, whereas they are growing with that understanding. So I think in some ways there's a benefit to that, but obviously there's drawbacks because they're also living in a world where they need it more than we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, autonomy is whew, amazing. I think also in touching on that autonomy, I would say I would attach is it self-actualization? I don't even know what it is. It's not just being able to say I have like a passion and I'm pursuing something that's important to me, but being able to say I can make something happen. I have purpose. I have something that
Self-awareness, I guess, or
yeah, well, being aware of yourself, yes, but also I think like being able to say, whether it's for some people, it's the importance of creating something and having something to step away from and say, this is my work product. I made this like sculpture, or I painted this painting, or I started this company. And for some people, it's just being able to say, like, I created a warm home for like my family, or I raised healthy kids, like whatever it is, like being able to step back from something and have that actualization, like being able to say, "This is where my effort has gone, and I have something to show for it," I think is really, really important.
yeah.
Because there's even something psychologically about, like and I know that historically it's even been used as, like, a way of, like, psychologically breaking people down. Like, you make them dig a hole all day one day, and then the next day you bring them back, and you make them fill it up.
Mm.
And so now when they start digging it again, they know that there's no purpose to it. It's not going to be to plant something. It's not. And so, like, you're breaking them psychologically that they're putting all this effort into something that there's really no, like,
Meaning.
tangible.
No,
Yeah, there's no meaning. There's nothing to show for it.
there's no
Yeah.
point behind it,
So
and
you're sweating and you're putting effort into something that is without consequence. And that is so debilitating on the human mind. And I think that's kind of where, and that like causes extreme depression and also breakdown psychologically, which is why some people have used it like on prisoners and things like that.
we need that. I think we
Yeah,
need
I
that
think that's
drive, that
important.
purpose,
Yeah,
that
and
like,
being
we
able
need
to
a
say,
mission in our
yeah,
life.
and being able to say, this is my mission, and I'm going to put fuel behind it,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put like, whatever it is, pen to paper or, rubber to road, pursue it, work on it, but also be able to say, I did that. Like
To like, I brought it to
yeah,
fruition.
like even if it's not something successful, but be able to say like I built something, like I tried and I went out there and I courageously like,
Yeah.
took that risk. Like I think this is also really important in being able to establish autonomy.
And I think that goes back to the whole, like, recognizing the small gains, like you and I in our, in what we do and with our clients, like, we're always
Mhm.
gonna tell them, "You're not gonna see progress overnight. You have to
Mhm.
really celebrate the small wins along the way
Yeah,
and,
because
like,
this will keep you
and keep you
motivated.
motivated and keep you coming back, and
Yeah.
that turns into then discipline, and building good habits, and that is where we fall short every time because we forget that it's the small things. It's
Yeah.
the little baby steps that we take along the way
Yeah.
that lead to the ultimate goal or the bigger mission
Right.
that we have.
Right. Right. And they even tell you that when you're like working towards a goal, like break it down into, bite-sized pieces. Or they
Yes.
say, how does someone eat an elephant?
Yeah.
No one should be eating elephants, but it's
Please
a
don't eat
metaphor. Yeah, please
elephants.
don't.
They're
They're the most
beautiful.
incredible creatures in the world. But how do you eat an elephant? One small piece at a time.
Do people eat elephants?
I'm sure there's people eating all kinds of things. So, I mean, I'm sure
Please.
that, but the metaphor is that how do you basically, conquer something that's like monumental, way bigger than you, one small tiny piece at
Yeah.
a time. And that's exactly it. And realizing that every piece that you eat, so to speak, I really hate this metaphor. I don't know why I used it. Is one step closer, is part of what kind of keeps you on track when things that are inconsistent come along. You can look back and say, oh, but here's how far I've come,
Mhm.
which I think is also important from a
Oh,
psychological point of view.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. So happiness. So how are we trying to define
What?
what happiness is?
Did you laugh?
Because it's such a
Sounds
hard
like
thing to
a
define. It's impossible. I heard it and I was like, "Dude."
I mean, I think we've touched on a few things. We've mentioned connection. We've mentioned, I mean, even I would even add in financial stability,
Mhm,
possibly.
mhm.
I know
Stability.
stability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can money buy
I
happiness?
think it can't buy happiness, but it can, for example, buy you
Boost.
a sushi and that sushi makes you happy. Like,
Yeah.
you get what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
that would make
little,
me happy a little bit. Yeah.
it gives you comfort.
Yeah, yeah, and it's as long as you understand that it is not
Everything.
definitive, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not
then
the
it's
end all.
a
Like,
nice little, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I think that's where, yeah, money can come into it. I would separate that from financial stability because
Right.
financial stability can look like a life that has no luxury goods and none of these things, but you're still like, we're good. I'm happy that we have the ability
Uh,
to, to live at a level that makes sense, and kids are healthy. I'm healthy, and this is enough.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say ultimately money can't buy happiness, but it can give you boosts of it, provided your happiness is not contingent on it.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. That is beautiful. And I
Yeah.
think because also, and I'm going to play the mom card here. I think
Mhm.
as mothers, we tend to forget because we have this like mom guilt that steps in when we do want to think about money. Like, I know, for example, like, am more likely to spend on a pair of sneakers for my kid versus like
Or a pair of
a
sneakers for
50.
yourself. Yeah.
No, not even like sneakers for myself. Like, I'll spend on my kid rather than going and doing something for myself, like getting a massage
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever.
100%.
And
100%.
that's also been like a struggle along the way to be like, okay,
Mm.
no, wait, I am a priority. I should also be if we're going to
Yeah.
talk about money and expenses and whatever, like what's going to give me,
There has to be a budget that includes your
me as,
happiness
yeah,
and your
me as Rada.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think there's a beautiful realization in coming to that point and saying, like, fuck whoever wants to guilt me for it.
Yeah.
This is part of what also helps me maintain my balance as the person that leads the mood and the stability in my household.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
So, yeah, you gotta be stable because you're setting the tone. So I'm
Yeah.
like, if y'all want me to set the tone, you gotta, yeah,
Gotta give a little.
gotta pay the piper. No, I really like that a lot. And
Yeah.
I hope you are actually doing that because,
I try to now. I would say if you asked me when the kids first came along, like, nah, that was like not even a thing, you know? I mean, I'm not going out and shopping for myself in terms of clothes, but I know now, for example, that I do enjoy a facial every now and then.
oh,
So I will be like, okay, that's what I'm gonna
how
do.
often do you
Whereas
get facial?
I try to do that at least twice a year. I think I would love to be going more often,
Yeah.
but again,
And you
gotta,
and you go actually because of the treatment, like,
yeah,
itself, like, just because it's relaxing and it's
it's
a nice
relaxing.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
my time. It's nobody's
Yeah.
gonna be expecting anything from me in that, 1 hour
Yeah.
that I'm there. It really is like I walk out of there like a whole new person.
I don't do facials, but yeah, I think massage, it's the
Mhm.
same thing, like, just being in a quiet room.
Just focusing on
I was
you.
gonna say, I could end the sentence there. Being in
In
a
a quiet
quiet
room.
room alone,
Punkt.
the end. The end, and knowing that you are not going to be interrupted for that whatever it is, like 60, 90 minutes. Yeah, that's lovely. Good for you. I like that you're doing that. More, more.
Thanks. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah. And you guys too, I hope you feel challenged to think about what is your source of happiness, like consistent, sustainable happiness. And drop us some ideas in the comments if you feel like we left anything out.
Let us know.
Hmm,
Does
I think we
money
covered it pretty good
truly
though.
buy happiness?
I know there'll be some people who are like, hell yes, bitch.
We'd love to hear from you
We love
too.
to hear from you too. List the
We
items
we
as well
we're
that
ready.
add happiness to, so we can fully understand.
If you mention a Yves Saint Laurent bag, I think you've made a pretty good argument. I'm just gonna say that.
I will have zero rebuttal if you
0.
mention, yeah, yeah. But thank you guys for listening.
As always, subscribe, follow, comment, show us some love. We love
It's gonna
to
be
hear from
below,
you.
right? It's gonna be in
It's
the,
below.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Down.
Well, by the way, thank you guys for the listenings and the views. Always appreciated.
Always.
Yeah. Are we doing a live in 2 weeks? What's happening?
Yeah, we said for our 50th, we would do our live.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
When you said 50th, I was like,
50th, like,
yeah,
I'm not turning 50.
I
Are you
was
turning
like,
50? Not yet.
that's really in advance. Like, I feel like you've been living in Germany too long because this is like 8 years away. 50th episode. Okay, so that's coming up
Soonish. Yeah. So be
Stay
on the
tuned.
lookout for that. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.